Malenga, you're from Eldoret, another Eldoret person. Great, you got company. Zainab Mushi, you're logging in from Tanzania, Dar es Salaam. Habari ya jioni. Salamin.
Salama kabisa.
Asante, nashukuru kwa hapa, nashukuru sana. And Bogo says, we watched your Spice FM interview on YouTube. Oh my God. I was a bit afraid to tell people I'm going to be on Spice because I didn't know whether I was going to bomb or not. You know, you get that nervous feeling, you start going to the toilet. I was so nervous. The Situation Room is famous, but I'm told that people liked it. So I'm really happy that I got very great comments. I haven't watched it on YouTube. I'm always afraid to see myself and see my mannerisms. Joan Kimere, you're from Dar es Salaam. Karibu pia. Karibu. Naona shemeji na wandugu wetu kutoka Tanzania wameja, nimefurahi sana. Monica Mkayangi, you're from Mavoko. Kila mtu ako kwa family, eh? Wamboingari, Nairobi. Chris Hooker logging in from Marsabit. Welcome. Karibu sana. Sarah Kiari from Nairobi. I love your spelling. So great to see you guys and welcome to this webinar. I have decided I am going to do slides, but you know, it's all powered by PowerPoint. No. What I want to do is really talk and have a discussion. And that's why I'd really love to have you have your cameras on for those who feel comfortable. Even if you're home, you are supposed to be home at this time. I have a media branding company that I actually hired at the beginning of, was it March? Because I'm really tired of looking for this shilling. And I said, Mary, you have a little time now, very little time to maximize and monetize your brand, which is why you're all here. And so I hired a company called One Lens Media, and we have a partnership where we are sharing income. And they've given me a lovely 22-year-old assistant. I can't imagine she was 22 last week. We were at the central bank. She's Diana L, because the other lady who runs the company is Diana, also Dr. Diana. So this one's Diana L, the other one is just Dr. Diana. So you might see her moving in and out, taking a few pictures of me. But hook me up with the Spice FM. They're the ones who went looking for opportunities, branding, and this is part of what I'll be talking about. They're the ones who got me to Spice FM and Central Bank. One of you actually invited me to Central Bank to come and maybe do Women's Day. I'm very bad at negotiating, which perhaps we'll talk about. So I like Diana's company. They talk to the people, they negotiate, they get me everything, transport. And actually they did better than I can do because I always say, oh, you're my friend. I know you just once. So they have been able to get opportunities for me. They're getting opportunities for me speaking, getting me clients, and we just share proceeds. So that's probably a nice way for us and for you to think about, can you share? Because I had nothing. So if they get me a shilling or 10 shillings and we share the shilling, is not something good that we can be able to maximize. So, so welcome to this webinar. And like I said, I don't have PowerPoints. I want to talk to you about my executive repositioning program. And Guitar says, I love your energy. Thank you. You see, now you even make me come a little bit more. Let me put water so I can become a little more energetic. But that's what I'm known for, my energy, my passion, and people say my openness. So we all have something that makes us us. Some people, it's very deep analysis inside. They're quiet, but they see things that other people don't see. I'm like a bull in a china shop. Sometimes I don't see things. So all of us have got different strengths, and that's what I'd like to talk about, leveraging. So let me tell you a story, how I began this journey of mine. I'm trying to remember what year it was, but I remember being asked, I don't know, had I left National Oil? I think it's before I'd done National Oil. But I remember, anyway, we used to deal a lot with government, but I remember being told that the government wants me to apply to be a PS. I think I was still at National Oil or just about to go to National. But yeah, I think it was after National. So I was being told, we need you to apply to be a PS. And I was like, I don't want, no, emissaries were sent to me. You need to apply. You're being asked to apply. In the end, it was like, hey, Mary, you better apply. Otherwise, people think you're being difficult. And sometimes you have to listen to the wisdom of others. So I said, fine, I'll apply. And it was going to the Public Service Commission, PSC in Kenya. I'm sure in Tanzania you have similar and probably elsewhere as well. So the Public Service Commission. So I said, okay, I'll do my CV. I had a good friend who's still a very good friend. I think she's still ambassador. At that time, she was deputy ambassador in Washington. So, and she knew we were talking about it. And I tell her, this thing I'm being told to apply. So I started applying and she told me, how are you going to apply? I said, I'm going to write my CV. I look for my CV and she said me, listen, you don't do that. You have to present yourself professionally, properly, and apply in a manner that, suits your position. I said, but it's just a CV. She told me, no. Now, she then let me on a secret. I don't know if you remember when, I think it's when Kibaki took over, they had all the ambassadors reapply and go and face the parliamentary committee. And also some judges as well. So she said, there's this lady I know, she's a friend of mine. She's actually a financial whiz. She does projects, she does a lot of things, but she's a fantastic writer. And she's the one who did her CV. She said, I'm going to introduce you to this friend of mine. She did my CV and she's done of several judges. Please do a good document because there's a certain method in how government wants to see that application, the detail. Thank goodness I did because there were so many things that we needed, apart, of course, from the certificate of conduct, which you get from the police. There was, every copy of certification, your governance, things that sometimes we don't keep, the language. Now, there was also a requirement that I also have, I need to have public administration. Some of the competence was public administration, and I remember ethics. And I said, ethics? I've not done ethics. What ethics? When this lady came, and her name was Jean Kithenji, we become buddies. Some of you may have met her in the Full Circle events. She actually was able to look at me and see things I didn't see. Because I was saying, I don't have public administration. She said, but you've been in task forces with the government. You're in the Maritime Task Force. You're in the Energy Act Task Force. You're in the... That is public administration. That's public policy. Okay. So we start saying public policy. I've done... Because I wasn't thinking about it. Then I said, oh, but it says I must have experience in ethics. She said, but you've been running a company. You've worked for Exxon for how many years? You've participated in audits. Isn't that ethics? It's not about, integrity. You have experience. We can pull out experiences. You've overseen audit programs. You've passed audits. That is part of ethics. Oh, my goodness. Yes. So I was able to put in the competencies of what I had, that I had ethics. And to me, I was able to just kind of, relook at myself and say, actually, there were things that perhaps another person sees that you don't see. And that experience was so good that she reframed me. She wrote out a whole profile and I was saying, are you sure this is me? When I put it on LinkedIn and really, I had a fantastic CV. Okay, the truth is I never became a PS, which thank goodness I didn't because something else happened afterwards. And in fact, I was thankful that I never did become the PS. But what I started then doing is that whenever I applied for a job or was looking for something, I have even today a CV for public administration. I have a CV for marketing. I have a CV as a trainer. I have a CV as a coach. I have profiles for each of them. If you're looking for me as a board member, I have a profile for that. I have so many. If I showed you my file, I have like 20, 30 for each year because each year I then update them. And that's why I learned being able to really find what are your achievements, what are your achievements, core achievements, just doing your job that then define and you pull out your competencies that actually become apparent from the achievement. And after that, I started sending her so many people. In fact, there was one we sent her, he's now very senior, but he was then vying to be a central bank governor, and we redid his whole CV, and it was really excellent. So I started sending her very many people. All my friends, go to Jean. And she started from charging 50K, 80K, and then she said, Mary, stop sending me. She went up to 100, and people are still coming. And in the end, she said, no, this is ridiculous. I can't do anything anymore. That's not my main job. So she came up with this book for me, which actually I called Full Circle with Mary. And it was just that methodology, which got a nice old picture of myself when I was in National Oil. And it became the training manual that I use. And I think Mercy's here, we probably did a physical one at James Suites Hotel in Geneva. It becomes a course summary. And I was able then to say, what's the introduction, understanding the process. So we came up with a book that then I started training. And I actually started at 80K. More people are coming, went to 120. People are still coming. Went to 150, people are still coming. Went to 200, people are still coming. And this year I took it to 250. I said, okay, because it's a lot of work sitting with a client. I thought it would take 15 hours, 20 hours. Actually, the average I spent with somewhere is 36 hours and plus even 40, pulling out of people and then really putting it together and being able to actually, people end up with a reframed look of themselves. And they're like, oh my goodness, is that me? Is this what I'm about? And I think it takes somebody else to see in you, which what for you is a natural thing that you do, and you don't understand that's actually talent. And I think this is the beauty of connections, of being together. So during COVID, what I did is I stopped having it as a permanent, as a physical course, and I started doing small groups. We would do 5 people at church, maximum 5, usually 4 was better, and would actually even use that group as net. And having people in your class and you're encouraging each other and you're saying, oh, I've done that. Oh, you're calling this that. We would actually pull together, and there's a methodology of actually going through it together. And recently, then last year, I decided I want to be like those big billionaires who, once they're, they make money when they're asleep. And the reason was, there's a group called Dent, and I'll try and see if I can put the link here. And they have what they call KPIs, key person of influence. What are the 5 things that key people of influence do? And that thing really affected me. And some of you have heard me talk about it. And it talks about, in fact, let me see if I can share it here. The 5 things that key people of influence have. Can someone in the chat and tell me, because I want to have this to be interactive. Can people tell me the key people of influence? KPI. What do you think are the 5 things? Came up with. What are 5 things the key people would have? Let me tell you the first one. All P's, and they come from P something, P something. The first one is pitch. When you're asked, what do you do? You should be able immediately to pitch yourself, to pitch your business, to say, what is it exactly that I do? And I find that that's a very difficult thing actually for people to have and to understand. And let me see if I can share my screen, because I found that website here. I try not to use it a lot. So here we are. You can see the 5 key people of influence. Key persons of influence. And the first one is pitch. The entrepreneurial journey is a journey of 1,000 pitches. And regardless of how great your product is or service, if you don't have an amazing pitch, people will always struggle to recognize your value. This is what I really like. So what they teach is that determine what's your ideal market niche that then allows you to stand out from the crowd. Design a powerful pitch that inspires you, firstly, your potential customers, and your potential partners. Because what this does, it actually gives you certainty and clarity and commercial viability than ever before. So let me see if I can be able to, let me stop sharing and I'll find those 5 pitches. So when you come to my program, one of the things I learned from Jill and everywhere else, and I've learned it also through my many years of living, is that you must really understand what is it that you do? How do you bring value to people? And I saw Lydia Gashanja, welcome. She's a graduate from cohort 1. Please put back your camera. You don't know how having people, I can see the expression, tells me whether I'm communicating, whether I'm getting through, if maybe I need to repeat that point. It really, helps me kind of connect with you guys. So Faith, oh good, your camera is back. So really understanding what value do I bring on the table? Because unless you know what you bring to a company, to an individual, it's very hard when people say, so what is it you're going to do for us? You know how HR managers or CEOs, they say, so you want business from me? Well, what is it you bring? You have to have that. And for me, actually, what I did is that because I kept on playing with this thing. What's my purpose? It started out as, what's my purpose? What's my values? I love seeing you. You've disappeared. I love your kitamba. I love wearing those. So I really, I used to wonder, what's my purpose? And I'd come with different things. I would write them on it. I would have many, many things for many years. So what I did is, in this full circle group that I had of women, I used to call them a lot every quarter or so would meet. I sent a text to many of them. And I said, please tell me, what are the things that I bring into your life? What's the value that you see? What do I bring to you? And people told me so many things. Oh, Mary, you're a connector, you're a bridge, your networks. Others say you challenge me. Others said you bring clarity. You help me see myself in a different light. And so I took actually a spreadsheet and I took the keywords, connector, clarity, teacher. I put and actually there were like 7 themes that were emerging. Same things keep on emerging. Particularly connection. You're a bridge. You see things in me. You see something deeper in me. You're very knowledgeable. So I put knowledgeable. But the one that kept coming out is you brought me clarity. I wasn't sure I wanted to do this, but talking with you, I gained clarity. So actually with time, I realized my value proposition is I bring clarity to big ideas. And many of you have heard me see that. I put it on my WhatsApp. I put up on all these social media things where it fits. I really understood that what I bring to people, I bring many things. I've not forgotten those. Is I bring clarity to big ideas. So I said, oh, I'm a clarifier. Some people are bridges. Some people are builders. I help people build communities. Like Lydia here, she helps people see wealth as a fountain. Of bringing them that wealth and connecting them to how to bring wealth into their business. So everybody's different. We all have gifts that we have. So in this course, what we do is the first thing is really challenge you, but in a nice way, in a merry way, to really think about what is your value proposition? What's that elevator pitch? It's the same thing to me that you do. And I'll ask you to go and ask many people, text, come back, and we use different methods. Think about it. And really this is tied to Simon Sinek's why. Simon Sinek, you can go and watch. He's got a small 5-minute video, but he had a TED talk about the golden circle. What is important and what helps you connect with people is the why. Why do you do something? So that's the next phase. After elevator pitch, we go back and still say, okay, who is this that you do it with? Where do you like doing? I know I like corporates because that's where I'm from. Like Mercy, I came from a huge global multinational. I learned it. I like system. I like structure straight from university. Me, I don't like these NGOs or individual founder. It drives me mad. Me, I like structure where there are manuals on everything that we do. I'm from the oil industry, like Mercy Wambugu, engineer. And oil industry is about system and structure. Otherwise, you'd have accidents and blow up the world. We have LPG gas, we have all kinds of motor spirits. So aviation jet, we are very system. So I like that. So I like corporate because it's structure and I understand them. It's the same language. When you've been trained as a coach, you're actually told you can coach anybody from anywhere. It is true. But the fact is people still know your background and they feel safe with somebody who understands them and they know that you're from their background. So I said, I'm a corporate. I like corporates. And I said, I want to have senior corporates, older corporates. Why? Because they have time to focus. Anytime I have the 20s and 30s, and I'm sorry if you're 30 and you're here, I'll still accept you because they're very mature 30s and they're also very immature 50s and 60s. I found that when I had 30s, they have very many things going on in their lives. They have a marriage they're struggling to keep because maybe it's at that 10-year apart. They have small kids who keep interrupting the video and saying, Mommy, I want my iPad. Mommy, I don't want to study. They have so many things. They're probably in their first managerial position. So they've got a boss they're trying to prove with. They work crazy hours like I used to when I was in my 30s. until 10 p.m., 11 p.m. They also have their girls, so they're still trying to keep their body slim, flat stomachs. They do Pilates and some other things, and they have girl nights. You know, listen to those. My stomach is big, it's okay, it's mine. I don't mind. So I find over 40s, particularly over 45, perfect for me because we are very clear where we are going. We are not being distracted by husband or by in-laws or by children. We are aware that there's a timeout that's coming. I want to be able to build this financial independence. I want to be able to have that impact. Everybody thinks I have a great job, but actually I'm not happy. I want to do more, have more potential. And I want to leave a legacy. So I am really attracted to those. But also men are great. Bogombuni is here. So I have a lot of men who've got, particularly those with great deal of emotional intelligence, and they're not afraid to be able to be authentic. And thank you, Simon Kamunde. I can see you here. I hadn't seen you. It's really great to see another man here. I love it. So I do have a few men clients. Most women, obviously, because I'm a woman, people tend to, it's called unconscious bias. You tend to hire people like yourself, go with people like yourself. So typically, yes, I have, but I work with some great men. 20%, I think, of my clients are probably men. They're from all over Africa. One day I'm talking to Lesotho, another day I'm talking to Somalia, another day I'm talking to somebody in Marsabit like we have here. So it comes from all over, or Rome. And so we do that elevator pitch. We help you get your purpose. We help you identify what is my niche. Because you see that perfect pitch, you have to be clear where I will take people from anywhere, but my niche, because the clarity is so important of who are my people. And you can actually reach them by the articles you write, by the things you focus on. And because of referral, people are so happy they go and tell somebody, you got a problem, go see Mary. Mary will sort you out. They will tell their friends because their friends are at their level. And that's why I like that focus with the niche, because it allows you to really excel in it, develop in it, instead of a jack of all trades. So that is part of what we really do first in this course as you come in. We first find out, why are you here? Why are you here? What do what's your audience? What is it about? What are your feelings of anxiety? What makes you uncomfortable? Oh, I don't think I'm confident to go. For me, I used to feel very uncomfortable. And my friend Jean, who wrote this book, as I said, she's the one who helped me get over. But it took time, this chip on my shoulder that I don't have a master's, because I think between me and Jackie, Jackie, what's her name? How can I forget? The executive director of FKE, which I used to run for about 10 years. We laugh that we're probably the only ones in Kenya left without a master's. Everybody else work on a master's, PhD. So it used to be a chip, something I was uncomfortable with. If I do this CV, when I'm doing my certifications, what happens is that gap. Then I realized through this program, there are people who have other things. There's a lady who had her first degree was soil science, and she was uncomfortable about it. I said, what? She says, yeah, I'm a marketer, I'm strategy. That's why I even did I want to do a master. She did a master and a PhD. I want to hide my soil science degree. And I was like, God, you're so bright. You're so sharp to have had a science degree. But you see, different things make people feel and have different things. I had a client, a man who had been fired from a job. Okay, he sued and later he got a lot of money from the newspapers. Again, you're saying I was fired from a job. Should I mention it in my CV? So we come with a lot of baggage of how people perceive us, and we are bringing our whole selves to this exercise. Instead of saying, here we're talking about your professional self, not you, the mother, not you, the wife, not you, the sister-in-law. It is your professional life. And this is a marketing document. Nobody's going to take it through an audit. It should be true, yes. But when you have a marketing document, when Isuzu are doing their trucks, and they say how it goes over rocks, they don't say it consumes a lot of whatever. They don't tell you it's not good on the tarmac, it's better off-road. Or Mercedes, they don't tell you don't take that car on rural roads, it's got a low suspension, it will get spoiled. We don't have many dealers who can look after a BMW. They tell you how smooth and luxurious it is on the road. and comfort where you can hardly hear anything, but you try and take it to a road on the rural areas. But they don't tell you that part because they're telling you what they want you to know about the Mercedes in its right environment. So even you, when you're doing your business profile, your personal profile, you are profiling yourself as you would want in the ideal circumstances. So you don't have to say, oh, by the way, I'm not very good at this, or this I don't have experience in. Those shortfalls are not for yours to tell. It's a marketing document, it's your profile. So that's literally how we begin it, to give it a grounding of what do I want to achieve from here? What are my fears? Who am I addressing? Why am I going through this process? I want to get what clients. I want to position myself here. I want to do my CV. I want to get a profile that's very professional. So we understand that. Then we go into what value proposition, what's your pitch that you're bringing. And this company has the other P's, which I'll tell you quickly, and I'll see if I can find it. The other P that we insist on this program, we say pitch, and then we say profile. Where's your profile? Where can we find you? Or you say uko mfunguni chini ya kitanda uko au in the cupboard, you're hoping people will come and find you. It's like some ladies, young ladies say, I want to get married, but they don't go anywhere. So a man will come and pull you out of your house. You don't participate in any hiking club, professional clubs, playing tennis. So people come and find you. It's the same way with this competitive field. And that's why, for me, men are very good at this. Men put themselves out there. They take the risk. Women, we are risk averse. Well, what if I'm rejected? It's fine if you're rejected. Out of 10 rejections, you have one that will go through. So the idea is, where can you be found? Can we find you? If I do Google search, because let me tell you, your social media is your modern CV. Anybody who wants you to get you consultant as a coach, as high-profile job, they've already done a search on you. They've Googled you and they've seen. They've asked a few people who know you. Mostly, whenever somebody calls me, and I've checked with many places where I have talks. I was talking to Central Bank, as I said, I was a speaker to the whole Central Bank, but they're so into security area. I don't know. So I could show up and tell people, hey, here's my picture in Central Bank. We could even take selfies. They are going to give us their own pictures, which is nice. And it was online. They have a nice studio with lights and everything. The deputy governor, a beautiful lady called Dr. Susan Koech, brainy. Ooh, Kenya, she's from Eldora. Papa. She was the host and she has done this before. So I was the main speaker. And then we had a panel with a younger person and then older people. It was really a beautiful day. And then the whole company, over 600, all their locations around Kenya and centers. And I would have loved to say, I am here. But by the time they got me, they had looked for me and found me somewhere and decided this is a lady, and even shown maybe all the people where the judgment is passed. Because in this modern day, because of social media technology, internet, most people know what they want to buy. Even the purchasing decision, you'll find that the purchasing decision now, it's about a decision. If I remember my statistics looking at social selling skills, which is something I'll talk about, they say any purchasing decision in big organization is about 5 to 7 people take part in that decision. It's not one person. It's a sales department, the user department, the technical department, the what department. Most people know if they want to buy something, they know it's a car. They even can, we're thinking between these 4 or 5 brands, and we're looking at each of them, consumption, blah, blah, blah. The days where people didn't know what they wanted, there's so much knowledge now available at our fingertips. So when I'm looking for a coach, I'm looking for a service, I'm looking for a trainer, most people have asked, they've checked, they see LinkedIn, they see who. So having a profile is important, and keeping that profile somewhere where we can see it. And that's why LinkedIn has become such an important tool. Such an important tool. LinkedIn has got over 800, I think it's about 811 million people. 4 out of 5 of those people are decision makers. I think about 48 or so, 49.1% are women. A bigger percentage are young, 29s, 28s below. It's got over 50 companies. Ministries are there. NDC are there. UN organizations are there. In Kenya, there are 2 million users. And you can have it in any language. I know I helped one of our coaches here, Monica, I think you remember, she was in our class, and she speaks Portuguese. We were able to also make her LinkedIn profile in Portuguese. So you can turn your profile into any language that you want. But what happens is that if you think of Facebook, it's got about 2.6 billion people. But if you look at the conversion of that for business, B2B, and even for professional business, LinkedIn with only 800 million is far more effective, even in business ads. And that's why people go for serious business into LinkedIn. And that's why, for me, how you show up and where you show up is important. I think what's important, and those who are HR managers here know, social media is no longer somewhere where you talk about, oh, my kids, I went here, I was on holiday. That's not social media anymore, and has not been for a long time. It's not where to post all your kids and whatever. Maybe do that on WhatsApp, because it's open to everybody and they're seeing. And people make decisions based on what they see in that social media. So you should see it as your professional image, whether it is Facebook, whether it is Instagram, TikTok, which I've just joined, but I've been so afraid. Each day I'm saying I'm making a TikTok. Today I'm making a TikTok. I will. My sister has become very, very, very good at it. My brother treated as emotional intelligence. But everybody is still here afraid. So you see, we're all afraid of something. I keep saying I'll do my TikTok. And all these platforms, believe me, TikTok for the last 3 years has been the biggest thing and will continue. All these platforms, I used to think TikTok is for dancing. No. Simon Sinek is there, everybody's there. But there are all these corridors and corners. There's a political corner, there's a educational, there's this lady you all live, what's her name? Mel Ribbons. What's her other name? Brené Brown. They are fantastic. I listen to them all the time. Fantastic little short clips. Really, and actually I save them. Sometimes I send them to myself. There's so much wisdom. I use them for my training. Those TikToks, there are so many. So Mel Ribbons, is it Gibbons? Somebody correct me. What's her name? Mel. And I listen to her. How can I forget her name? Anyway, Mel Ribbons or Gibbons, she's there. Brené Brown. All those gurus, you can get them there. So where have you put your profile? Where can people find you? And today, there's something called an algorithm. I can't find you. And if I wish you knew how many companies, sometimes I say, I'm not going to deal with them. I can't even find them. I don't know where they're on. I can't find their website. I can't find the person. So you are who Google says you are. Sorry, guys. You are who Google says you are. If they say you're a fantastic, highly experienced coach with results, that's who you are. How do you do that? You build a profile. You have activities. You share your wisdom that you've learned. You comment on others. You engage in debate. And people can say, you know, I saw an article by this lady called Grace Omwenga. It was so interesting. I wonder what she does. They go to your profile. Oh, she has worked here for 10 years. Oh, my goodness. She's a coach. Oh, there's a picture of her training people at Central Bank. Oh, my goodness. I think this person can be very good for us. Let's invite her to give us a talk. You're who Google says you are. There's a good friend of mine. She also attended one of my sessions. I pushed her and pushed her because I'm very bad at pushing people. Actually, I'm very good. So sometimes people say, Mary, you're pushing me to make posts. I push you, believe me. And I give you tips and I watch as you're putting, and I say, can I see the post you did? And I go there. There's a button called edit. Can you edit, put tags, put da. I follow you up and I see that you do it. I guess that's why maybe I'm successful, but I'm a little bit of a bully, but a nice one, very respectful one. I get you to write those posts. This lady Lois told me, God, Mary, I'm getting training jobs. She got training jobs. Many of you attend events just this week. I want you to put there, where have you been in the last 2 weeks, an event that you could have taken a picture and put on LinkedIn. Just put for me down there. I know I was at Central Bank. I could have put there. I was at the Defense College facilitating a talk. I could have put a note. Again, it's a security installation, so I didn't want to. But I was at Spice FM and we took pictures. Yeah, this Diana and others. They said, come. I was with the Do and I was with the City. I know City Muga and Dennis. We took pictures. By the way, are those pictures? I want to see them on my LinkedIn. I should have put them the next day. But I've seen a lot of people sending me the link, blah, blah, blah. So I need to put the link. Some people gave me the link to the YouTube. I want to put it. I've become a little lazy. But all of you, can you put in the chat line, where have you been in the last, let's say 2 weeks or 10 days? Which event? Did you go to a conference? Did you go to a training? Did you go out to watch a fantastic play that you thought had some very insights, maybe that you could relate to life, or you could relate to coaching, or you could relate to emotional intelligence, that you could actually put there something humorous or something very insightful? Monique, I'm sure you did. Because it's your entire life and those moments of clarity that you can say, actually, I was in International Women's Day and somebody passed a very moving story about this and I learned this. Someone was saying he was in a retreat. Simon, did you post about it? Did you post it?
Yes,
so
I
Simon
did.
was in a team. You did, yeah. Have a picture and then tag those people and say, enjoying a fantastic day courtesy of our great company, EABL or whatever company. So you tag EABL. So all the people who are connected to EABL and follow, they will get that post. So they'll say, oh, EABL, what were they doing? And then they'll know there's somebody called Simon Kamunde who exists. Because anytime you tag somebody, that person and their connections and their followers are told, there is a post mentioning your friend Mary Mukindia, mentioning your friend Masi Wambugu, mentioning Hannah Bisiji, Besingomwe. There's somebody mentioning Joanne Kimerie. So now all the people, connections, your followers. Imagine how many people are those hundreds. There's a percentage that will click and they will know that person. So I see Dr. Faith Gujiri, you had a branch in Women in HR had a branch and you are an attendee. Did you post it, my dear Faith? Uko happy? Faith, will you post? Take a picture.
She'll say yes.
No.
I always post. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I'm so glad. And see who else has been courageous enough? Oh, Mel Robbins. Thank you, Lynn Guitar, for giving me. I don't know, my mind was going blank. Thank you so much. So all of you have always seen very interesting things. You may even see something happening and then it reminds you, this is like nature, da, 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 da. And then there's a kind of thought that you put in and say, I noticed this, da, da, da. What that does to the algorithm, it keeps your name coming up. When headhunters, when people who are looking for trainers, for whatever it is, it keeps your algorithm up. Let me ask you a question. I'm sure some of you follow groups or follow people or follow an organization where you used to get a lot of their posts. You used to click and read, either it's Forbes or it's somebody you follow. And then somehow you realize, I not posts from these people. Did they stop posting? No. What happens is you stop clicking. When you stop clicking, you're telling the algorithm, I'm not interested in that topic. So it stops feeding you. It's like when you are on this social media, TikTok, YouTube, if you keep clicking things to do with Academy of Africans, professional Africans, is that I wish you knew that this platform called Cross Knowledge, which I have put my course on, which Vicky has a franchise for Sub-Saharan Africa, is a huge global platform. It's owned by a company called Wiley, Wiley. It's global, it's huge. It's been there for 230 or 40 years, over 200 years. Total uses cross-knowledge platform. Almost all of UN uses platform. I train on it. That contract I'm telling you I have with India is to do with one of the UN agencies. That's the thing I do every day. And we're starting a new cohort in April. It's a digital platform. People learn, you go through that pass, you're told, well done, you have quizzes, you read, can go, click, see a video, click, read an article, because you're not saying it's yours. So you create that digital platform. So the next P is about productivizing yourself, having products, which when you're asleep, you're making money. Because the bit that really hit me is that selling your time for money is self-sabotage. What do you think of that, Michelle? Selling your time for money is self-sabotage. Edna? Selling your time for money is self-sabotage.
I guess because you're selling your time and your skill to build somebody else's dream and you're not working on yourself.
No, yes and no. Actually, you got yes and no, because how much money could you make from selling your time, really? Could you charge $1 million an hour? Because you've got to rest. You have limited your money-making efforts to time. And I see Rosemary Montoke here. There's a whole page I was not seeing. Super to see you. I see Maria, who is Maria Simiu, who's from the last cohort, is here. Eric Mwaura, Judy Njoroge, Lydia Manyoike. Got such many people. I'm so privileged. Gladys Njoroge, Winnie Singay, Monica Gashusha, Chris Hooker. You guys, you've really honored me. It's lovely. Lois Carle, really nice to see so many people with you. So talking about products, how do you create products? And therefore, in your journey, I want you to create products. And actually, with one or two of my clients, we started creating a product. Two of my clients are actually writing books. One has published, one is about to be published. And I promise you, I've been saying I'm writing a book since I don't know which year. In fact, one of my clients in the banking sector told me, Mary, you're very foolish. We invite you because they are always inviting me. I'm with them 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year. They say, you should come with your books because we pay you for speaking, but then we buy 100 copies, 200 copies of your books. That's how Mr. So-and-so makes 200,000 with us, just on books. I've helped people make books. I've got 2 books here from 2 HR managers. This one is the Big Five of a Thriving Career. Nice little book. It's by Hilary Migoya, used to be HR in APSA. He's now HR in HR Finance. I have so many books. Who's the other one? I wrote an article here. I love it. There's another HR person, HR practice, Aria Vumira, Sally Salome Gitoho. Lovely lady. I bought her book. I have so many books here that I bought of different people to incentivize me. There's this lovely book that I like, Outstanding Leadership. It's a little tiny book. I challenge you to create products. And that's why I created the digital product, and any of you can create a digital product. Vicky has challenged me to do 2 more, and I'm busy doing it because they are tools that can help us create all these AI tools very easy on things that you are excellent on, that you know. If I asked you, what are 10 things that you would want to teach somebody that you know from your profession? You'd get those 10 things. And then we start pulling them apart with a proper features writer. There are features writers I can refer to you. You start creating a product. You start creating a product. You start creating something. There's one actually who's created a model, and they are now actually putting it into into an assessment tool. Like we have the EI leadership assessment. We have so much personality assessments. Think about the things you care about. How could you model a tool? That's why all these big companies do. Even this 5 key, it's a tool, it's a model. And then there's even an assessment. You see, am I a key leader of influence? And you do an assessment. So tools are very interesting things. And now with AI, you can build tools. It is not that difficult, believe me. But we challenge that thinking, and it may take time. And the last P, because I told you there are 5, is partnership. Who are you partnering with? And what is the expression? Is an expression of when a tide rises, all boats are moved up. That's why you see many organizations say, oh, we do work for BHT, APA, Kenya Airways. Some of our clients include Barclays Bank, I don't know what. Why? Because they know that the flavor of this big company also falls on them. Oh, you work for Kenya Airways. Oh, you do ICA. So partnering is so important. And that's why I've partnered with Profiles, because Profiles is a well-known brand. And I think I'm also a brand. So they say, Mary Mukinde is doing a course. They'll pull people. So we're leveraging. So we'll challenge you in this course to think, who could I partner with? Could I do a course with Monique? Rosemary Monteke is somebody well-known. Could I do something and saying Monica Monteke will be doing on this, or start holding little webinars saying so-and-so will be there talking about this, so-and-so will be there talking about this? How can I leverage the partnerships of people and organizations to do that? So essentially, this executive repositioning program, while it's essentially to help you move up to the next level, we really examine who you are, what your value proposition is, what you're doing about it, how your profile, what's your niche market, what is your why? That's Simon Sinek. And then now we go through the modules of extracting from you your achievements and rewriting it and repositioning you to where you have identified you want to be in your business or not. I haven't done one specific for coaches, so I will love this because there are things I have done as coaches. How do I price? What do I do? Those are the questions I had when I began as a coach. How should I price? What's the right level? What's the right amount? We can talk and we'll talk about that. And because we're a group as well, we'll learn from each other. And we'll see how then do you brand yourself and where do you go? And by the end of it, you should have a very clear mental framework of who you are and what you bring to the table, and then how you pitch that and how you use social media, how you use LinkedIn, how you use all the other tools to be able to take that brand out. How do you get into those circles where you can be able to reach your audience, webinars, conferencing, and being able to be present and to be seen? Because, and by the way, when you write, you'll be surprised. Facebook, with all its 2.6 billion people, I want you to put in the chat, what percentage of people do you think write content? Give me a percentage. Facebook. What percentage do you think write content? Because I want to show you why writing content is so important. Okay, Judy Jeroge, 10%, Bogo, 20%, Monique, yeah, 5%. Come on, guys. Maybe 5%, Faith, yeah, just watch content. Exactly, just like, share. We're just consuming. Let's see who else. Come on, guys. Many of you want, you see now, many of you don't even want to interact with me. If you want to succeed, my dears, one thing I force you is interact. You're not going to be a consumer of the website. You must be there. Aha! Chris Hooker, 1%, Zainab, 25%, Grace, 10%, Wambo Ingare, 30%, Lynn, 5 to 10%, Michelle, 12%. You see now, when I prodded you and I pushed you, you started coming back. Lillian, 10%. The answer is somewhere in there. And let me go back. Chris Hooker, if I had a prize, 1% of people post content. And that's why the content you see on Facebook, that it says quality. Because most of us with very good brains, with lovely things to say and do, we don't participate. And therefore, we don't rise up. Or the people go up, are these people with big breasts, I don't know what, wearing tight clothes, all those bandit things, the Kardashian type. Those are the things you end up seeing. Why? Because the people with this who should be creating interesting debate have pulled away. So now, I told you that LinkedIn has over 800 million people, 4 out of 5 who are decision makers. Now put in the chat, what percentage of people on LinkedIn do you think deliver content? Let's see. Chris, I hope you get it again this time. I see you're listening very intently. You're aware of your numbers. Oh, Chris, you're going. I want you to put in it. What percent do you think? Judy, 20%. LinkedIn. Zainab 50, Simon 70. Wow, Sarah 5, Hannah 30%, Clementia Mwaburi 25%. Let's see, Michelle, you've said 2%. Faith, maybe 10, 15. Lillian Wenyoke, you're getting close, 0.5. She's the only one who's gotten close. Sorry, Grace is not 50. Mercy, sorry, is not 75. Do you want me to tell you? You wouldn't get it. 0. When you write, you post something, so many people, and I've seen this look. Grace went, oh, people tell me, Guy, Mary, what did you do? You're a witch doctor. People are calling me witch doctors. Many of my clients are saying, hi, madam, this is what you're teaching us. Because when you write, let's say you have, the average CEO used to have 700, 800 connections. I know I used to aim for 930. Now I've got 1,100. Don't go too many, by the way. So let's say the average CEO has 800, 700, 900. But then they've got very many followers. Now imagine if everybody, let's say, had 1,000 followers. Then you write. Those people also have connections. And then you have their followers. So one post is seen by hundreds and thousands of people. Some even comment, some share. But most view it and you don't know. They're the silent who just read it. But you'll see how many people saw it. And that's how you move up. And that's how the algorithm keeps you up even when headhunters are looking for things, because your account is always moving. It's writing, it's engaging, because that's what the currency of these sources. So it's very, very important. You want to be in the marketplace, selling your services, selling your expertise, then you must go out and put yourself in the window shopping. You don't put, if you have a light, the Bible says, put your light so people can see it. Don't put it under a bushel. Now, the third thing that I have brought that I really, really enjoy, for those who know me well, I do not let you get away. And I gave it free for the people who are in the first, workshop. Many of you know my age. I've been told to stop saying my age as if it's a crown. Anyway, I'm on the 6th floor. And I just love AI. I love AI. So, like this retreat, I'm going to introduce very many AI tools, and you're not leaving the retreat until you have mastered 3. And they're so easy to master because I'm there. Press here, do here, share your screen, let's see it. So there are 3. When those who are here, they might give us, I'm talking too long, they might give their own testimony. You people, you don't know the power of ChatGPT. You have no idea. Many use it as if it's a reference. You're asking questions. It's your partner, it's your thinking partner. I even tell it sometimes when I'm feeling low, I don't know what. It tells me, breathe, have you done exercise, do this. I talk with it. Now there's even a feature. You know, you can talk, but now there's a feature where there's a video, it can see you, or you can show it something and describe. There's a video. I was doing it yesterday. I show it something, I say that's a glass of water. What do you think that is? We talk about it. And now it's a fantastic coaching tool because it showed me how I could use the video for coaching to see the body language, and it will be advising me. So I want to do a dummy with a client, and I'll give them permission where I'll put it up, and then on the screen we're both of us, and it will be telling me the body language of the person and giving me advice. The person looks at camera, blah, blah, blah. So I want to use it. There's a video now feature. You press the food feature and then you do the video. And you chat with ChatGPT. It creates courses for you, does anything. And there are many Chrome extensions that I use. Yesterday I recorded, and then today I recorded one. If you use Google Notebook, it recorded for me a podcast. Fantastic podcast on this course. I gave it the material, it came up with a podcast. AI. Let me see if I can play you a little bit of that podcast, because I am just so amazed with this podcast. I had said I'll try and play it for you. I gave you documents. It's saying Mary Mokindia, she did this in her full circle. She says this. You know, this is very interesting. Proper podcast. Actually, what we'll do is that I'll ask the team to send you that podcast. It's 19 minutes. I loaded documents. I also loaded, like the one I did today or yesterday, I loaded the link from the Spice FM. You load the link URL. I loaded documents. I'd written a linking article. I said, Buona, produce for me podcasts. Top notch. It's just like your computer. It's just like your phone. These tools allow you to now use your mind and create things. That's why they're cars. You don't have to walk, so that you can spend that time doing other meaningful things. That's how I look at these tools. And we need to take advantage of them, because they free your time so much to analyze for you. Why are you reading board papers? Put them there and tell it to analyze for you. Tell it what you want it to do and to reach the gaps and to research into what what the law says follow this act, blah, 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 and tell me the gaps. What would you propose? What questions should I ask? Here's our strategy plan. Do you think that this paper addresses the strategy goal? Believe me, you'll be shocked. It is so much cleverer than you. Why are we trying to be clever? There's a machine to be clever. This is now decision making and giving it the prompt that you want to give it. But it is as good as your prompt. The quality comes in, what are you prompting it and asking of it to do and to be acting as how? So that's me, Mary Mukindia. For those who don't know me, you have a lot of fun. To be digital, you'll be doing it on your own. There's a fix and an end time. I will push you. We'll have live sessions. And then hopefully when you finish, you will get what you came to get. And that you will refer me to somebody else, because for me, as I've never advertised other than, of course, for these courses, and people are satisfied. They give on testimonials. I thank you for the honor of coming, listening to me. I don't know if the Profiles International people are there. I don't know if any of my former students, Maria Simu is here. She just finished cohort 1. Lydia is here. If you want to take 1 minute, because I talk for too long. How do we get the full circle book? There are no more books. The world has moved. We are now digital. You go onto the web, you go in, you log in, you find, hello, there's Mary there. There's a video of me saying, welcome, this is my whatever. It tells you do this assignment, that assignment. If you do it, you post the assignment into the thingy. I see your assignment. If there's a ChatGPT prompt, I say, use this prompt to do that and that. So you're learning at your pace. And then when we meet in the live sessions, you're asking questions, something that wasn't clear. Everybody's asking questions. We are networking. But you're learning on the digital platform. I tell you, go read this article, do this quiz. And there's a video of me. Remember, I'm trying to create a product. One day there should be no live. The next 2 courses I'm creating, there's even no live. Most of the trainings I have done and many companies are doing, they don't need you. But because this is important, I'll be learning from you. We'll be learning together. So from President Mukaya to everyone, thank you. Thank you so much for those lovely comments. So Lydia, Maria, any of you want to say something? And I'll take a few questions. I know it's already past 7, but I hope I was so interesting that some of you want to ask some questions. Maybe if I see some hands. Lydia, Maria, anybody wants to give a testimonial? Or you think I've spoken enough?
I can share as we wait for questions. For me, executive repositioning was a place where I got to look inside and like merge everything that I am. I am a financial wellness coach. I had a very difficult transition. So I wasn't really using my past experience, and this just pulled it out. And one of the things I like about Mary is she's a very experienced guide. Yes, she says she's a professional coach, but there are many other things that affect your professional life. So she's able to like declutter the problem that you have and reduce it to a I've really enjoyed the space. The community is amazing. It's a safe space. And I have left with like a new way of thinking. Whatever I want to position myself for to think, I know what will make an impact. The other day I was doing a LinkedIn post, and just a small tweak that Mary challenged me to put in there just blew up my the engagement that people were how people were engaging. And so I'm grateful. It's I think the way she said it's a still overdue. It is. It's very valuable, and I'm happy to have gone through it.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you for those kind words. Yes, you know, we fear. I think most of it comes from even me, TikTok. I'm fearing. I fear, what do people think? If I write this, how will it look? Just, my daughter keeps telling me, my daughter is a YouTuber. I used to criticize her when she started her YouTube. My God, I wanted it to be perfect from the first day. Nothing is perfect from the first day. Honestly, when you look back at the ones you did before, they'll be terrible. And that's what I'm trying to get over TikTok. But now I talk, you call me, yeah, I'll go and talk to wherever, central bank, wherever, because I learned and practice is everything. So just put yourself out there, start sharing those insights. Anybody else want to say something? Let me see some hands or ask a question. Please do, or you can put your question in the chat. Dr. Faith, yeah, practice makes perfect. They say super, absolutely. Wambui, you want to say something?
Mary, we have a question from Judy. We have a question from Judy who is asking, how long does the course take?
Very good question. It's supposed to take 8 to 12 weeks, but with this first class, I think we took, 30 weeks? We did everything. I did the Simon Sinek why, PAP, we did what's your purpose, we did the tools. I think is Shim here? I'm not sure what we agreed, because now our limits, I talk too much and I started doing it every week. I think it should take about 14 weeks, because now I've gotten a lot of ChatGPT prompts. There's a lot of things I was asking people, you know, go and now make your achievement smart, you know, specific, measurable, accurate. So actually, I now actually have asked ChatGPT, what should the prompt be? Doing your profile, I was telling people, find 5 key statements, and then using those, that now ChatGPT does everything, because we give it the documents and tell it to do with it. So I think really, for me, 14 weeks will be more than ideal, and many of you will have finished without it, but let's say 12, just to be more cautious, which is 3 months, should be very easy. I see somebody's asking, when does it start? It starts on April 15th. That's when the course starts. And what are the other questions? Hannah, you have your hand up. Please go ahead. And somebody else as well.
Thank you, Mary, for the lovely session. It's always amazing to hear from you and learn. My question is, in terms of repositioning yourself, personally, I've been working, I have 10 years experience, but a lot of it has been in
We can't hear you. Sorry, we lost you a little bit, Hannah. We lost you a little bit. Your experience has been in, and then we lost you.
My experience has been in banks and financial institutions.
Yes.
Usually in sales.
Okay. And the question is?
Hello?
The question is?
Points me to sales jobs.
Okay, then that is what we'll address. We'll address how then do we reposition you and look at your existing skills. Yeah, look at your existing skills and maybe look at where the gap is. What is it that you would need for that? Because let me tell you, with even this last cohort we had and other clients, once you've done your CV and you're happy with it, or your business profile, and where my specialty is, where my interest is, this is my unique proposition. You can put into ChatGPT and say, can you list for me the positions that you think suit my experience, my competencies, and the organizations? It goes, I had a client, a man in the banking sector, and we had never thought of central banks, and they came out very promptly, and regional banks. We said, actually, why haven't we thought of that? And repositioning yourself to do that. Remember, once you have a foundational CV or a foundational corporate profile, you don't use it again all the time. You look at the TORs of what people are looking for, and then you can ask an AI tool to reformat and rewrite that to meet that TOR that is on there. So we would work with you, Hannah, to be able to say, this is my interest, this is where I want to go. Edna, you had a question or a comment? Go ahead, Edna.
Thank you. Hi, Mary.
Hello. Yes.
Can you hear me? Let me
Yes,
just try and have my video on briefly. So how much is the cost? And is it open? Like, can we tell a friend to tell a friend, etc.? Or do you have a maximum number of participants per cohort? And is it full?
Yeah. The cost is still very low. It's 45K. Pushed it a little bit because we still underpriced it, but we want to get the numbers. What Vic is trying to do is build an academy with African professionals. Because when you look at cross knowledge, there are so many courses. When you come, she has offered extra. I think there are 10 or 8 courses extra that you go in. It's a very rich. See, I told you it's been 230 or 240 years. There are many courses and skills you can learn there. But most of them are delivered by people who are non-Africans. And what Vicky would like to do is to create an African-wide academy where in that profile, you have African experts. All of you are experts in what you've done, what you know. And that's why she wants to increase the faculty and get people to understand and create material, get videos, training videos, materials. Most of them are videos, but they're also books, little guidelines so that she can enrich that thing, because the growing continent is Africa. GDP of Europe is always been negative or zero. Asia and Africa is where growth is. And that's where they are all running to this side, because the younger people, the growth, the spending income, and education, adult education, the digital space is about 230 billion market. It's estimated to go to 330, 350 in the next 5-10 years. That is a space that you as coaches, as trainers, as EI can claim in, and then use modern tools as well, where you're doing something online, you're doing physical, but you're also creating products for others to learn, because you're still very much a minority. So it's 45, and you can ask other people. That's quite okay. I think let's see who registers. If it becomes too big, we can split it in 2 classes, because you see, it is digital. All I'm required is to have a live session every now and then. So how many evenings do I have a week? Yeah, pretty many. Most of my clients, we finish work by about 6-7 o'clock on most days, because I'm more on during the day. So let the people, we may end up with 2 cohorts. I'll be very happy. I'll be making money. I'll be helping people that you guys will go and now do even more, and you bring me more people. So the idea is supporting each other through this network. So thank you for that question. You allowed me an opportunity. Yes.
Yeah, when you say digital, does it mean it's self-led and then you'll come in and do webinars once in a while? Or it's digital means it's self-led? So you...
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Digital, yeah. The material.
Hi, Mary.
Wonderful. Yes, go ahead. Hi, who's it?
This is Gladys.
Yes, Gladys.
I've attended several of your sessions, and I think you're one of the best coaches around. Yes, so I wanted to know, based on your assessment, how do you see the coaching industry in Kenya? Are people looking to improve themselves? How do you find the industry right now?
Let me see. I think most people are seeking to improve themselves, but usually in 2 ways. One, they want to change their job and go to a better job. Either they don't like the culture, they don't think they're in the right fit, or they want to go to a senior leadership position, the ones I see. And the others are looking to expand their tools, because they are where they are. They find that life is getting so hectic and so stressed, and they're working so many hours, and they're not making the impact they can. Either they've been told by the employer, or they see it, and the employer has said, we think you need coaching. Because what happens, as you know, nobody teaches you leadership. Very few. Even in schools, we don't teach leadership. Leadership is about influencing people, inspiring people. It's about leading people. And in fact, I love this international UN organization that I'm doing. Yeah, Grace is okay. You can leave. Lovely. We've gone over time. They define leadership as, thank you so much for being here. They define leadership is a process of social influence to maximize the efforts of others to achieve a certain goal. Do you get that? Leadership is a process of social influence to maximize the efforts of others to achieve a certain goal. So imagine you are a psychologist, because how do you influence people and maximize their efforts? But most leaders cling to their technical knowledge, to the accounting knowledge, the engineering knowledge, the whatever. So they start now leading people, do it this way. It's got nothing to do with it this way. Those young people know it better than you. They can do it far better. Your job is to inspire them, to build relationships with them, to sort out issues between this department and that department, to give them vision, to give them a direction. Yes, there's a little bit about work and managing work, but most, as you go higher up, CEO up to chairman, in fact, the less you know about the issue, the better. The chairman should know nothing about airlines. He just knows about how to manage people and how to read people and how to inspire people. But most leaders start wanting to micromanage. Let me see those documents. How did you do it? Let me sign, please. And with technology and AI, you cannot control things. You will not know everything. So focus on the people. Don't focus on the issue. If you're good to people, those people will do anything for you. So it's about, how do you build relationships? How do you influence people? How do you care about people? How do you have empathy? Do you really listen, actively listen to people? Do you encourage people? Do you care that their mother is sick, that they have a child in hospital, and let them go? And these people, once they establish that you care about them and you model the right behavior, they'll do anything for you. So really, it's understanding what it is to do. So these are the things people come with a challenge. I am sleeping at 10, the boss is so hard, the work is tough, I can't manage, I'm having bad relationships with people. Yeah, because you're focusing on the wrong thing. Focus on people and the rest will come. Maya Angelou said, people remember what you said, people remember what you did, what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So how do you make your employees feel? How do you deliver through people? And forget that you're an accountant, forget that you're this, forget that you're this. And that is where I find leaders are having challenges and they're looking for coaches to help them. And that's why emotional intelligence becomes so key. And coaching, the coaching skills of actively listening and taking perspectives and not judging. Those two skills, coaching and emotional intelligence, so important. And that's why I think you guys are so important to bring that to many, many leaders. So it is 7:21. How long are we supposed to go? Until 7? We go forever. So where are the profiles, people? Do you want us to switch it off now? Shim, Rose, can you close the webinar? People have been very good. They've stayed on forever, which is nice. Grace begged to leave. I saw somebody else leaving. So I really thank you for coming. Shim, are you there, or Rose?
Yes, I'm here, Mary. Mine is to say thank you to everyone who've attended the webinar, and also to really thank you, Mary, for enriching the audience. Thank you for the engagement also on the platform. Thank you for everyone who've asked questions, how they can join, and also how they can sign up. We've shared all the information on the chat. Every link is there. And we'll also follow up, since now we have your emails, we'll follow up with you tomorrow. We're also going to share, most of you are asking about the podcast that Mary had shared, that had mentioned that she's going to share. So we'll also share that tomorrow together with the recording of this webinar. Thank you so much and have a lovely evening. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Okay. Have a good night. Bye-bye. God bless.
Thanks, Mary. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Hey, Casey's here. See you, Casey. Nice to see you, one boy. Juliana was here. Oh, Juliana, lovely. Oh,
Hi, Mary.
Hi, Juliana. Lovely that you are here.
Yeah, although I joined a bit late. I was held up doing something else, but really glad that I was able to join. Thank you so much for such insightful session.
No, thank you too. It's an honor. Glad to see you here, my dear.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Lois, Scarlett. Thank you, Naomi. Thank you, Lynn. Oh, thank you for those nice words. Thank you, Lynn, very much.